Everybody. 𝒂𝒐𝒓𝒌𝒊𝒒. Hi, everyone. Good evening. 𝒂𝒐𝒓𝒌𝒊𝒒. Hi, everybody. Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. Hello, Miss Illinois Sanctuary, the mother of my nephew. Y'all don't be nosy like, who's that? Mind your own damn business. Hi, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Okay. Thank you, Miss Illinois. How are you? Good evening. Come on in. Say hello. When you come in, oh, let me see. Let me edit this real quick. Good evening, everybody. Where have you at? I think. How's everybody? Hello, Mr. Ude. How are you? Good evening. Hello, Mr. Adewale. Shalafia 𝒘𝒐𝒓𝒌𝒊𝒕. It's been quite a bit. Was sitting soap and puff puff. Last Thursday, I was like, everybody's celebrating Independence Day. Let me go find something to do as well, because I was like, I am not doing anything work related. Although I did work, I did a couple consults just to people who were not working that day. So I was like, unless apart from that, I was like, well, good to see you. Hello, Mama. My mama's on. Y'all say hello to my mother. Show respect. I did tone 63. Yeah, Bankisha Lafia. Hi, everybody. Anyway, welcome. Hi. My mom is 71 years old. She rocks a blonde hair style. But yeah, lemo in short, 71. So that's going to be in 25 years, like we're long. God keep our lives till then. So, because if you go all great, Mama rocking, man, what's going on? Everybody's saying good evening, Mama. Good evening, Grandma. Because the yarning back, give me what's going on. One life to live. You wonder where I got my feistiness from. It's from my mother. But anyway, hi everyone. This is Attorney 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕 Olaleye, immigration attorney based out of Alabama, representing immigration clients in all 50 states. If you've got an immigration case, if it's something that we can help you with, we'll be glad to represent you. And yes, Ms. Illinois Sanctuary, this is the most positive immigration platform on social media. And if you are on Instagram, you don't have to worry about trying to get our contact information, because Ms. Illinois Sanctuary got that taken care of. But hi TikTok family, if you go on our page, our contact information is on every page. TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, everywhere. Just name it. We're there. But good evening, Miss Albina. How are you? Good evening. So please share. Very important that you help to share and spread the word about information, knowledge, immigration. You just never know who's going to be. I got someone send an email to my assistant, say, hey, I don't know if this is the lawyer's email, but please let her know that I could not afford an attorney. But every single step that I needed to take, I would go on her YouTube videos and just look through based on the topics, and it's helping because she has topics for her videos, and I was able to help me file my own case, and now I have my 2-year green card. That's what it's all about, being able to gain knowledge, being able to share experiences and testimonies and miracles that God is doing in the lives of everybody, even when things don't go our way. Sometimes we get denied cases. It is the reality of what we do. Those kind of news are hard, but it doesn't change the fact that God remains faithful, And it doesn't change the fact that that which he has started, he's going to complete. So please share. You never know who's going to benefit. You never know what stage people are in, what's their situation, what the circumstances are. So just help us spread the word. That will be very, very, very much appreciated. At Olaleye Immigration on all platforms. 334-341-4475 is our contact number. We'll be more than happy to represent you in your immigration case. If you want to know the kind of cases that we handle, please visit our website, olaleyelawfirm.com, so you'll be able to know what we do on as far as the case types that I take. Okay. That is not hard information. I got quite a number of my colleagues are like, you know what? Sometimes you give too much information. That what's the point of them not retaining a lawyer? The truth of the matter is, not every kind of case is going to require legal representation. That's just the reality of it. That's just what it is. But God will always provide work for us. That for those who need us, our services, they will come our way, because it's, it is the grace of God. He is the one that gives promotion and increase. So that's usually what I feel. And talking of testimonies and sharing good news, Mr. Ernest got his green card today. Miss Pinky, I don't know if she's on. She's usually on Facebook. She's there. So I was going to say, so if you're on Facebook, Miss Pinky, she said, good. Let me put her. That's not her real name, so don't worry about that. She goes, good evening, Ma. I'm so happy. It's my turn to be congratulated. Let me tell you, y'all, she is the true definition of hanging in there, because until God says it's over, it's not over. But she, Miss Pinky, I'm glad you didn't drive me insane though, because sometimes I'm like, y'all don't understand that I got a life too. I'm a full-time mother. And you can imagine the pressure that I have every single day dealing with people's lives is a lot. But then I think for me, it's more, I feel a lot more pressured because I'm extremely passionate about what I do. And also, let me tell you something. It's a week of blessings. So I haven't seen Mr. Kobe now. That's not his real name too, but his VAR case was also approved. Well, Miss Pinky, she's the one where I actually wrote that post myself, because the girl who helps with our social media posts are like, no, I got to take care of this myself, because I'm the one who can tell her story. We've been through it, going from USCI is alleging that she's submitted something fraudulent. We getting an RFE for that, and it was like, okay, she was like, okay, how do I go? How do I get through this? I was like, we're just going to find a way to make the argument, and as God will have it, they agreed with us, and then they wanted to really get the case when it was time. Once they scheduled, and when they scheduled it, if you have a VAR case and scheduled for an interview, most of the time there's a reason behind it. Sometimes it's just routine. 95% of the time there is a reason. There's something in your record that's making them bring you in. In her case, when we got a notification for interviews, I was like, that's going to be the reason. And she was like, you think so? I was like, I know so. Just wait and see. So we got there, decided with the preliminary questions, and then went on to, so how did you submit that document? How did you, I knew, but I wasn't going to back down. I was like, no, we're not relitigating that. I mean, that's not, we got an issue with that. The VAR office already said it was fine. We're not going to relitigate it. Like, well, that shows, anyway. This was September of last year. They rescheduled another interview, canceled it, canceled, rescheduled. It got to the point, it's like, these people are making me go insane. I mean, Pinky, I think we also did, is it congressional assistance request? I don't even know. But we were ready, like, okay, bring it on. And as God will have it, yesterday, it's just amazing. Her story is one where if you feel, or people are trying to convince you that it's the end, no. If God has not, if it hasn't ended the way you have placed it before the altar of grace, it's not the end. It may be denied. It may not go the way you want to find it action, but there is going to be a way out. There's no way a child of God is going to be stuck. There's no mountain that God cannot move for you. There is no fire you're going to be in that he's not going to be present. So when we got that yesterday, was I could not even believe it. And for those Miss Pinky will tell you, for those who know me, when they hear me, I call my clients myself. Nobody, I email you myself when we get, even when we get denials, I email you or call you myself. That's not delegated to anybody. But just to hear the relief in her voice, it's been quite a journey. Miss Pinky, this is what, 6 years? It's been quite a journey. And so we thank God, we rejoice with you. This is the whole point of this. This is why I do this. Let's talk about Mr. Kobina. His case was just approved. God is faithful. Miss Pinky said 7 years. 7 years. His case was approved. Called him. He was short of words. That's what it's all about. And, it will be a great and perfect world that every single case is approved. The reality of what we do is, especially the kind of person I am, I don't take on easy cases. Case in point, these two cases, I don't take on easy cases. I get bored easy. I take on cases that is going to scare the what out of you. I was like, okay, let's see what happens. Miss K's I-750 was denied. Basically, we're on the edge of a 204C allegation. Let's see what's going to happen. Why? Because it's not because of what I think I know. It's because of who I know that I know. And I know that the power that is within me is beyond human comprehension. It is God in me who's able to do things and swift things the way he chooses to. And so we just do it and do what we can and leave the rest in his hands. However he chooses to, that's what we're going to accept. The prayer is that it's always going to be in our favor. So, Mr. Kobina, I rejoice with you. Miss Pinky, I rejoice with you. Miss Blessing's case was also approved today. We filed her case January 9th, 2024. And July 9th, exactly 6 months after, I-130, I-485 approved today. Just coming from the office, I got that notification. No interview. 6 months from start to finish. Approval in 6 months, no interview. That is God in action. So I say all of that to say this, not to brag about what I do. No, it's nothing about what I know. That much, because I always say something, the day I begin to think it's my power, that's the day I begin to fail. But as long as I know it's beyond the power that I have, there's no power that we have. It comes from the Most High. And as long as I know that all my hope is in him, and he's able to do exceedingly abundantly above and beyond, I know that we shall succeed. It may not always go the way we want, but we cannot give up because we have come too far. And he has brought us a mighty long way to give up now. So that's all we have. We got to keep going. Let's talk immigration. So what are we talking about today? If you're just joining us for the first time, I do the questions at the end. You can tell I get excited over my cases. I really do. That's what when I get denials, I can't function the whole thing. The truth be told, I'm just someone who it's not, people's cases are not just case files. They're people. And because I know what it feels like to go through this whole thing, I have to, because a lot of my colleagues are like, Abby, you're too passionate, you're too, attached to these cases. How can I not be? Yeah, there's no guarantee I ever give anybody because, but how can you not be when you know what it feels like to be in someone else's shoes, right? But if you just joined us for the first time, welcome. We get to questions at the end of the topic. So what are we talking about today? Real quick, let's talk about remarrying an ex-spouse. Mm-hmm. And yummy. That was what let's see. They are speaking on your night, and tell people. And I'll go. Let's call it spade a spade. Remarrying an ex-spouse. Can you remarry a former spouse and then petition on their behalf? Short answer, yes. But it's not that easy. It's not that straightforward. Let's talk about that. So most of us, especially my people, Amani, his favorite French question is being clarified. This is a very popular French question. And I had 3 consults about that today. So let's talk about it. Most of us from Nigeria and from Ghana, our Lamanche, let's call it spade a spade. We come in and we say, okay, we're getting divorced, but we say, let's come to the US and see if we can rekindle things and maybe make the marriage work. But we got here and actually got worse and we divorced. Okay, that's the story. And then everybody goes their way, right? One of us goes to marry, gets the green card, gets citizenship, and then somehow, especially when we have kids, for the most part, we have kids together, right? Somehow we make our way back to the former spouse. You know, like, Auntie Joe, fine, gonna see you. Let me see if there's a chance. But then I need salt and pepper here. Okay, so you get the point. So the question is, when that happens, can you now, what are the odds of remarrying your spouse? If you can, is that going to be a problem? Is USCIS going to deny your case? Are they going to investigate your case? So question number one, can you remarry a former spouse? Absolutely. You can marry whoever your heart so chooses. There is no law against that. You can. Can you file for your former spouse? If you are a green card holder, note that if you've had your green card for 5 years or less than 5 years, you can marry a former spouse, but you cannot file for them if you got that green card through marriage. If the exception is, be ready to prove the good faith in the marriage that you got your green card through, first of all, and then prove good faith in the marriage to your former spouse. So the best practice is just wait to become a citizen. And especially if that former spouse he's already out of status, there's nothing you can, being a green card holder, you can marry them, file an I-130. Once they're out of status, they cannot get a green card by being married to a green card holder. Once you become a citizen, they're exempt from the unlawful presence waive. The unlawful presence is waived. So you become a citizen. At that point, do you have anything as far as any reservation or restrictions in remarrying a former spouse? No. Will USCIS have laser focused scrutiny on your case? Absolutely. Why? Because, believe you me, I'm sure you know, USCIS ain't stupid. The people working there, they've seen all sorts of stuff from Ghanaians and Nigerians, Mr. Bennett and Mr. Sanctuary's people. Yeah. So they know that we come here, we split, then we come back together and then file for the other spouse again. So because of that, that heightened scrutiny is there. However, the first thing you can do for yourself in that situation is get you an attorney. Those kind of cases I've seen, when you have a lawyer, they're more careful in how to apply the law and not necessarily probing into the petitioning spouse, now who's a citizen, you're married, and your lawyer can set them straight. But just note that it is possible to remarry a former spouse. It's best to do that. I mean, you can remarry them even when you have a green card, but it's best to wait until you become a citizen before you file for that former spouse. Be ready to have USCIS try to bring in you, the petitioning spouse who's not a citizen, questions about your marriage, and then make sure, most importantly, have an attorney represent you from start to finish. USCIS the goal for, and most of the time, 99.9% of those kind of cases, 99.9%, they will be scheduled for an interview. There's just no way around that because of the history of the parties involved. The goal of USCIS in those kind of interviews is to try to see if that relationship, that marriage that used to be, that has now been rekindled, if there's any conflicting information or evidence that would now contradict the petitioning spouse's time when they were married to the person through which they got the green card and eventual citizenship. So if you're going to remarry your former spouse, please make sure that you are done with the marriage to the American sponsoring spouse. You give yourself plenty of time after the divorce is final. you do not have any overlapping events or incidents between that spouse and your ex Nigerian Ghanaian spouse, so that there's nothing they can hold against you. You got a clean slate to start with. And in those kind of cases, good faith is not the issue, because 99.9% of the time, those people already have kids together. They probably came back together and yet have had yet another baby. So the good faith is not the issue, because that's real. It's been real since Jesus started life, right? He created the world. So the goal is to see if the petitioning spouse was actually seeing that former spouse during the pendency of their marriage. As long as you've got things not, they're mutually exclusive time frames, then you should be good to go. So yes, you can remarry a former spouse. Just make sure your timelines match. You've got an attorney to represent you, so that that spouse, Tenny, akode US, 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕, then you're not getting back together like, as a you can do love or romance. It's okay. A lot more number willing. But that's how you go about that. Just make sure you have all your ducks in a row. Get you a lawyer, dot all your I's, cross all your T's, and you put your family back together. That's all she wrote. The more you know. Okay, let's get to questions. So let's get to questions. I'll start on Facebook. I'm so happy. God bless you. God bless you too, Miss Sakobina. Oh, Mr. Bennett, that's another Ghanaian brother. Very, very lovely, nice, very respect. Yo. No, I love my people. I love my people. Don't come for me. But even though Nigeria has better jollof rice than Ghanaian people, right? I think Ghanaians are more respectful than we are. Don't come for me about the money. It's like, no. I'm just saying what I have seen. That's me. Or better say, they're not as feisty. They're not as feisty as Nigerians are. I think Ghanaians are more subdued. They're able to carry out like calm conversations. Because I'm just saying, when I talk to Mr. Dana, when I talk to Mr. Kobina, it's kind of like mellow. It's soothing. It's soothing. It's soothing. It is. What is the word I'm looking for? It's just, I don't know. Y'all get the joke. Don't come for me. I said what I said. Okay. All right. So questions. Put your questions in the comment section. Disclaimer: general information, nothing specific to anyone's case. If you repeat your question, I'm going to skip it. So because it's a waste of time for me, for everybody else, it's not fair. So please do not repeat your questions. I'll try to go through everything. If I see a question repeat it more than once, it's being skipped. So if you see it, I don't read your question, that's look through and you would know it's because you have put it more than one time. This is hot chili topic. It is reminded the things immigration makes us do. You said it, not me. And Mr. Brennan says, hello, everybody. Thanks for joining. Can't you like and subscribe this YouTube channel, please? We're trying to grow our YouTube channel, so that would be very appreciated. And we come every Tuesday and Thursdays, 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If I'm not here on the Tuesday, Thursday, it's because I'm out of town. It's vacation, it's holiday, something, I'm doing mommy duties, something is the reason. So, but for the most part, 99% of the time, we're away live on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Okay. While trying to respond to the RFE for previous marriage certificate, USCIS, Mr. Mario High, approved my twins I-130. I was considering withdrawing my case to start all over. What do you think about the approvals and the withdrawal? I'm familiar with your case. I guess that's going to be Mr. Mario. That is an update since you and I met the last time. Can you confirm that for me? I'm so happy for you, Miss Pinky. You have no idea. I'm telling you. When next I come to Atlanta, I'm definitely going to look him. I joined you late. No worries, Mookie Great. You're welcome. Hello, Mr. Arakoya. I received a letter from USCIS concerning my N400 on the 3rd of this month after waiting for 3 months. They said there is nothing outstanding for now. On my I-751, they said my case has been transferred to another office, that I should be expecting a letter to explain why it was transferred. What is the meaning of this? There's no meaning. Just wait, like they said, see what happens. I can't speculate to why it was transferred. Okay. I need an attorney advice on what to expect. That's exactly what I just said. There's no, hello, Mr. Ginedo. How are you? You're an angel in human form. May God bless you in more wisdom. Thank you. Amen. Amen. I claim that in Jesus' name. Okay. Let's see. Hi, TikTok people. Okay. Can I travel to Mexico for a pre-planned vacation before my own ceremony on July 18th? I'll be back 16th. I can't tell you whether to travel or not, but if there's nothing stopping you before traveling, as long as it does not affect the residential requirements, which I don't think it will. It's a very short trip, but whether or not you can travel, that's a decision you have to make. This is just general information, so I can't tell you whether you can travel or not. Do I have to go home while my workplace works on my green card? If you are not in a valid status, meaning a valid non-immigrant status or otherwise, keeping in mind, if you have an asylum case, that's another status. That's an authorization to stay based on a pending application. That's a status in itself because you have a pending asylum case. But that whether you should go home or not depends on what your current status is. So you want to sit down with a lawyer to figure out what you need to do. My sister just got her I-360 approved last week. Congratulations. How long will she take to get a green card? That's another question I can answer. Let's see. Your hair looks beautiful. Thank you. I just rebraided my hair. Y'all can always tell when I just rebraided my hair because it looks neater. If anyone has 4C natural hair, because you cannot put a comb in it when it's dry. So you've got to wash it when it's wet and then stretch it out when it's wet so that it dries, and you're like the first night is like, because no one touches my hair. My sister's husband is in prison now. Oh, sorry to hear that. What's I-130? What's okay. All right. So I was going to answer your question, but I see that you repeated that question several times, so I'm going to skip it. And also, FT, we repeated your question like 5 times. It's going to be skipped. Let's see. Okay, big man, same thing. I'm not going to answer you. It's just very simple instructions. Don't repeat your question. So if you want your question answered, don't repeat it. If you do, it's going to be skipped. That's it. How does fiancé visa work for your fiancé abroad, Ma? Sit down with the lawyer to figure out how that works. Okay. All right. Can a spouse file I-130 for your kids with the kid living with you? There's no requirement. So if you're talking about a step, you get married and the child is eligible to be classified as a stepchild under the Immigration Nationality Act, there's no requirement that the child has to live with the petitioning your own spouse, as long as the child qualifies as a stepchild. That's why people who even have kids outside the country can have their citizen spouse petition for those kids, even though they've never lived with them, they're outside the country. Hope that makes sense. Okay. Allah, thank you. Okay. All right. What time should expect green card after vice versa? I kind of speculated that. That's going to be speculation. Yeah. So whenever a case, let me just say this: whenever a case is approved, depending on if you had, so some people would have an I-45 that was attached to an I-130. Probably even had the interview before then. Case gets the not request for them to hold it. Case gets approved, then they're notified. Or what I do for my clients is we notify the field office. Okay, case has been approved. Here is approved. Can you please go ahead and now adjudicate that? There is no time frame. If they can decide to bring you back for an interview, and they may just send you a request for evidence. Sometimes, depending on the field office, I've seen it happen mainly in New York, New Jersey, up north area, where they ask you for an I-864W. Whenever we get an RFU for I-864W, fingers crossed, it's kind of like really close to getting an approval in your case for your I-485. I can count on one hand I've had to do that form, but whenever I have clients based out of New York, New Jersey, I'm almost certain that we're going to get an RFU for that. Other than that, if your case is going to be scheduled for an interview, then you've got to wait. If they're just going to send you a request for medical, they do that. So there's no telling how long it's going to take. And it depends on what stage your I-45 was before you filed the VAR case. Can a U.S. citizen who works outside of the U.S. marry Nigerian in Qatar and file for him while both work in Qatar? There's nothing that says you can file as long as you can prove that you still maintaining residency here as a citizen, because the employment can take you outside the country. But usually then you're filing it, but obviously you're going to have to file it here. There used to be a way you can file an I-130 in an international office, but I think they scrapped that. Don't quote me on that. But it's nothing that says you cannot. My U.S. citizen child filed for her dad, and I received my green card last week, but up to now, her dad's I-130 has not been approved. She's received a work permit. Do you think we'll hear from them soon? That's not a question I can answer. I have a friend. Here we go with a friend who slapped his wife. Okay. How do you know what? That's a very specific thing to know about a friend. But anyway, I have a friend who slapped his wife. Can he get forgiven and apply for a green card in the future? Tell your friend to discuss with a lawyer what happened so that he knows whether that's going to affect anything in the future. RFIE on I-130, July 2nd, change the case is being actually reviewed, nothing required. And the A came back on my tracker. I'm disturbed thinking plan B, entering US and just put in I-485. So what's your question? You're welcome, Pat. Can a VAL applicant have a USCIS online account despite having an attorney? Can they see updates? So about having the US, I think you can now. Last week, USCIS updated the policy as far as you being able to get information about your VAWA case, U visa case, T visa case, humanitarian cases, confidential cases. It used to be that you would have to send in a letter to the Vermont Service Center or have your attorney send an email on your behalf. But now, as long as now you can actually get information about your VAWA case by calling the toll-free number, the contact center, USCIS contact center. They would have a series of, like one of my VAWA clients and I actually did that today. And some of the questions they would ask you, well, I can't say some of the questions because to protect, you never know. But they would ask you identity questions, specific questions. Some of the questions like, because I was worried about, because if you're married to someone that abused you, for the most part, they already know your information. So how do you know it's not going to be the person? But the questions my client was, even though I was on the phone, put my mind at ease. Like, oh, I didn't see that coming. And they'll give you some time to check, but I could not answer the questions. My client had to answer, even though I was on the phone. The client had to answer those questions. And so you can't get information through the phone. Vicus now, once you're able to get through the security questions they'll ask you, and you're also able to get in, submit requests on your USCIS account now. How the online part is going to work, I'm not really sure, but you're able to do that now. So, also your question is, why is it changing back and forth? If I knew, Miss Murtha, you didn't confirm the last time, but I think I was able to figure out that that was you that I spoke with. And you've been of huge support for God knows how long. And I just want to say thank you. Thank you. God bless you real good. And to each and every one of you, thank you. Oh, Mr. Maggi, I got your interview notice today. Hello, Mr. Chola. Yes. If I can figure out how USCIS works, I don't know. For instance, Mr. Maggi and Miss Blessing's case that I talked about, we did both cases, hand in hand evidence comparison. It's about the same. Her case 6 months from start to finish, approved, no interview. His case interview is like, and a lot of that also depends on the field office. Some field offices are like, yeah, we can approve this. And sometimes it stops at the National Benefit Center. You just never know. That's why I tell people you cannot compare your case to somebody else. We didn't come to this world at the same time. Why do you think things should go the way it should go? So I'm just giving an example, but God knows best. Okay. A friend got 10-year green card last week for 10 years, no interview. Excellent. My elder sister filed for me and my family January 2018, but till date, we have not heard anything from USCIS. It's not uncommon because siblings petition, it can average between 6 years to about 10 years for the petition to be approved. And then it would average about 15 to 17 years before you now become eligible to apply for the immigrant visa. So you're still within that time frame. It's even when your petition is approved, you're still going to be waiting about another 10 years. That's just reality of what we're saying. Okay. All right. Good evening, Miss Joyce. Emmanuel sent his documents. Yes, I had that in my job for God knows. Y'all, sometimes I don't even know if I'm coming or going. My life is I'm you have to understand, I don't like to use the term single mom because I've got a very, very active and involved co-parent. We just don't live together. That really is the description of my situation with my ex-husband. So, but we live separately, and my kids, primarily, especially the baby, my oldest is 19 and a half. He's an adult according to American standard. Go figure. But they still call you mom. What am I supposed to do with this? Yes, he's probably on TikTok or Instagram listening. But that's my full-time job, first of all. But I average no less than 1,000 emails every single day. And keep in mind, immigration is not the only thing that I do. I do criminal defense. I have family law as well. This week I've got criminal defense hearing, and I also have a custody, child custody trial on Thursday. So that means through all of tomorrow, I'm preparing for that. So I may not get to emails. I usually average them to us, and I tell my clients, if I'm representing you, now if I haven't represented you, I don't owe you anything. I'm just being honest. But if you haven't heard from me in like a week, email me back. If I represent you, if you haven't received an email within 72 hours, or I say, please send me another follow-up, because somehow it's probably now 500 emails down. So, but Miss Joyce, I said all that to say this. I actually sent him a response today. Can someone be qualified for a paroling place even though he entered by misrepresenting 24 years ago and married a U.S. citizen for 10 years with 4 children? What do you mean, Olivier? What do you mean by misrepresenting? Entered by misrepresenting? Did you use someone else's information? Is that what you did? What do you mean misrepresenting 24 years ago? Wow. No worries, Miss Joyce. And the thing is, I try to keep up with my emails. So if I know it's something I have to respond to, I'll start it and put it in the draft. The problem is trying to remember that I have emails in the draft so that I have to follow up with. So bear with me. It's, yeah. Um, Thank you, Nilechi. How are you? I love your profile picture, by the way. Mr. Alexandra, I missed you to sipping Zoba and Puff Puff. Now, don't let me start thinking of Puff Puff because it's important. So thank you. 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕. Okay, let's see. It wasn't a smooth one. We thank God for this testimony. Yes, yes. See, that's those are the best kind of testimonies, the ones that it doesn't, you just don't see the end. It's, you're like, okay, you're confused altogether. I'm sure Miss Pinky was like, you know what, I feel like whatever you want to do. Because I won't even put any any message in my email. I get that notification like we cancel your interview. I would just forward it to her. Like she already knows. Like, listen, the next thing we reschedule. Like, okay, but they will decide one of these days. That they will make up their minds. And I guess they did. So yeah. You will receive an award soon. Okay, should I say amen on that? Oh, I don't know. I'm hard to respond to. I don't know. Okay, let's see. Okay. On June 12th, my medical RFE was being reviewed. For 5 weeks from 2 years, do you think we'll get a 10-year green card? I can't speculate on what's going to happen. That's the same situation with my wife's friend in the US. Maybe I would ask them to get in touch with you. Okay. Thank you, Anthony said it. You see what I and that's on lick fingers, so you cannot. Yo, no, I love my lick finger. That lady has me. I told her what I see you becoming a household name. But when you get there, remember some of us that were investing in, they give us some shares to invest, because I truly believe that she's passionate. She loves what she does. I wish I no, that would be a lie. I was going to say I wish I loved to cook that way, but let me take that back. That would be a big fat lie. I don't wish I knew how to. I love to cook. I know how to cook because my mama taught me how to cook over the phone. She'd tell you like I be so like back in Chicago, yeah, you know. But I figure it out over the phone. That's what matters. I don't care to cook. So, like this past weekend, my oldest kid is taking some classes, and also I went to the loft he's staying there. Made him a spread, toast, French toast, scrambled eggs, got him meat pie in sausage roll on leek finger, rice and sauce, spaghetti. For a mama who doesn't like to cook, but I was like, for a whole week he had to eat a frozen dish, and I was like, I'd rather go do that than for him to be eating fast food, because we don't do fast food. If we buy fast food, it's like once in a red moon or we're on a road trip. But leek finger, God bless. Or those of you who love cooking, I don't. Sorry, you would never see me cook for myself. What do I eat? My mama cooks for me and sends it, or leek finger cooks and sends it. That's it. I'm not doing it. I wanted to say something, but when you send an I-140 petition to USCIS, how long does it take before they cash you? I can't answer that question. Hey, Epic Movements, how are you? I sent you an email earlier on. Oh, you responded. Okay, I'll check it after. Love your earrings. Thank you. That's fine. I love hoop earrings. I love earrings. Submitted my RFP since January till now. I've not heard from them, and my case tracker is not up to date either way. Okay, so anything about processing, y'all have to understand the same way you're waiting. I'm waiting on. I have hundreds of cases. waiting on updates. So it's like if I had a magic wand that I could wave, like what US says, y'all need to figure out your whatever. That'll be a perfect word, but it doesn't work that way. Epic movie, you go forward, see here. So first here is torture that I'm willing to. That's the thing. When you get past that detangling, and it comes out this way, you're like, okay, let's, yeah. But when you wash your hair and you come out of the shower, as soon as you step out, you're going to become SpongeBob. That's it. You just have to pull it out again, so you're not SpongeBob, you're on SpongeBob. My mom says, "Good luck, everyone. Good night, and remain abundantly blessed." That's another thing y'all need to know. My mama prays for my clients. How many immigration attorneys can say that, or attorneys? My mama prays for my clients. Even just yesterday, I was talking. She goes, in Yoruba language, she prays for my clients. That's the reward that I can. That's all I can say. Hello, Miss 𝒊𝒒𝒂𝒏𝒕. Your email is in my draft. God knows I will get it to you with forms and documents. I will get it to you. Let me see if I can. Okay, so I'll cover everybody else's name. So you know that I'm not capping, as my kid will say. I'm going to show you Miss 𝒊𝒂𝒏𝒕. This is one of mine, because I have a lot of. You may not be able to read my, but just so you know that your name is constant, your file is in front of me. I love to write, so I put the cases that I have to address that week. Let me see, 𝒊𝒂𝒏𝒕. I'm Epic Movement. That's your first name right there. So, if you're wondering why your name is on there, it was because I think I'd contacted you 2 weeks ago. So, Miss 𝒊𝒂𝒏𝒕, that's your name. To show you that, and this is a I just covered it. It's a it's a long sheet just to show you that. So it's on me. I just haven't crossed it out because I know he's still pending, but I will be in touch. His friends are place. Okay, let's see. If you got your conditional green card without interview, does that mean I won't need an interview too for the 10-year green card? No, it doesn't. They can call you for an interview at that point, especially if they waive the interview first time. But it's also possible they waive the interview. I have a pending valid case, but just got an interview for the transferred I-130. Should I go for the interview? Ask my lawyer for a request to cancel. Why do you think I know this username? I think I know this username. Okay, I have a pending valid case, but I got an interview for the transferred I-130. Should I go for the interview or ask my lawyer to request a cancel? It would depend on what stage, what has transpired in the I-130. Was it requested to, what did the petitioner withdraw it? Are you still living with the abusive spouse? Is marriage still viable? Has anything changed? Are you separated legally? Are you divorced? First of all, if you're divorced, there's no interview you're going for. There's no qualifying relationship. So if your VI is pending and the 45 has been transferred to the VI case, then you may, depending on when it's scheduled for, you can send a letter, or your lawyer can send a letter to them like, hey, we already asked for this to be transferred. They're no longer together. Please reschedule. If not, we'll be there. Or sometimes some field offices would just cancel the interview and just when you resend the information about the VA case. But it's very, very case specific. Depending on your circumstances, that would determine what needs to be done. I hope that helps. I can be more specific than that. Okay, let's see. Miss Imagine, we got this. My prayer is that I'm available, because my sister gave it to me. She sent me all the dates. I've not seen the date because I know he's probably going to pass out if I'm not available. So wish me luck, y'all. Because it's like, the younger brother, lost younger brother just came back and like, I'm going to make your life a living hell. Who called you today? Who called you today, Mr. Maggie? I was a little nervous when you emailed me. No, nothing to be nervous about epic movements. I'm not in. If anything, I've actually had that same update in two other same case types about maybe a month or two ago. So it may just be something USCIS is updating. So there's nothing to worry. I just wanted to make sure you didn't do anything on your end. That's all. Mr. Magic, send me an email. Give me a summary of what they called you about. This is something you should have emailed me immediately and not wait until end of the day. Yeah. Is it a good idea to call the immigration office to let them know about the separation? What separation? Okay. This is like we took it back before TJ record. That because my kid, TJ doesn't forget. Like, oh, you said you wish you knew how to, you love cooking now. I got married to a U.S. citizen in August 2023 and filed out papers because USCIS only approved my first and second daughters since February till now. Me and my last daughter have not heard anything from them. Just hold on. That's what you need to do. I thought I put this in. Do not disturb. Did you guys lose me here? Let me know. Am I back on live? Because there was a call trying to call me through. Okay. What does it mean when you get an email from USCIS that an account has been taken? An action has been taken on your case, but when you log in, you don't see anything. It just means they've taken an action. That doesn't necessarily mean they've updated the case at that point. It's USCIS. Can a green card holder file for her spouse? Yes, she can. The question is the spouse going to be eligible to apply for a green card in the country depending on their status? Call me 20 is what, just go get a bucket to cry. Yep. I always come to read your quotes, prayers, and words of encouragement every day. They've done me so much good that there's hope. Thank you. Thank you. If you have a bad case, Aziza, you're probably going to be best to just talk to a lawyer. I can't tell you what to do or even notify USCIS about something that I don't know the background of the case. I was afraid, just kidding. Mr. Maggie, really? So are you kidding that they called you? Mr. Magic, if that was a joke that he called you, that's not funny. That's not funny. I was a former client of AOS refiling from Kansas. Yes, fully divorced lawyer had requested for transfer last October. It was pending. Lawyer, former client of AOS refiling from Kansas. Refiling from Kansas. Okay, I think I know what this is. Did I refer you to the lawyer? If I did, then I know who you are. I know exactly who you are. If I made the referral to the lawyer, then I know who you are. JMK, did I refer you to the lawyer? Let me know. Did I refer you to the lawyer? If I made that referral, then I know who this is. Not much I can tell. No, that wasn't funny, Mr. Maggie. That wasn't funny. And talking about signal and all that, everyone in Texas that was affected by the storm. I hope y'all are doing okay. I know a lot of people lost and all that. Okay. Oh, that's what they called you. Don't if they called you because of the expedited, but you already have the darn work permit now. So why are you making it look like this is why? Even my child doesn't stress me as much as you do, for real. My team will be gone because stress me to why. Oh, Jesus. Now you should be afraid to email me. Now you should be. Um, Hello, Mr. Kelvin. Hello, Mr. Kelvin, the latest citizen in, well, it's fair she one month as a citizen by now, right? Mr. Kelvin, in fact, be 1 month. I think it's gonna be 1 month. Need your Saturday. Yes, no, maybe one or 2 days off. Don't tell me I'm off. I think I don't know. I may be right. One can see Maha date, sorry. One month need your Saturday, right? Please tell me I'm right. Because y'all know I love to be right. Yes, no? Okay. Birthday means I know what that face meant. You already know. Yeah, because we don't play like that. Yeah, we don't have medium. Tell them that pick movement. We don't have a medium. We're either extremely for you or extremely against it. And when you play our emotions, especially because we're passionate people, we don't take it lightly. Don't be doing that kind of craziness. I don't play that. Now I'm not even going to let you know when your interview is scheduled for. I'll tell you the week before. And then I'll tell you I'm not going to be available. How about that? Laugh about that. Yeah. Mr. Kelvin. Yes, no, Downing. But anyway, okay, let's see. Okay, Mr. Mary, that's what I was asking. I said that has to be something that happened after our last. Hello, Miss Tina. How are you? I sent you an email, and it's like that's what I was talking about. Uh, Mr. Calvin, I was like, it's going to be 1 month, if I'm not mistaken, on Saturday since you became a citizen. I think it's going to be 1 month Saturday. But yes, Miss Tina, I was telling you that that's what I thought happened in that case. And so I'm glad that you got that information. I'm glad that I said, okay, ASAP call them, because the last thing you want is for those stuff to now be missing. Exactly. I'm not sure why they told you they didn't have it. It's showing delivered almost a week now to them, and they still told you they didn't have it. Do they not check their mail? But knowing USCIS, that was what I suspected that would have happened, even though they probably they notified them. They have my G28. It's USCIS. Go figure. So thank God that was the step to take. I just want to the next confirmation I just need from you is that you just send me an email with a photograph that they've got all of that by God's grace. So that's what I need. See, I remember. So it's going to be 1 month on Saturday that my dearest Mr. Kelvin has been a citizen. We started together. I mean, these stories are just this is just my passion. It is what I truly believe that, God has just decided to use me for, and to just rejoice with everybody. So anyway, okay. So thank you everybody for joining. I'm finished. No, please just ignore him. Decided we're making 1 month. We thank God. His name alone be praised and magnified. I'm still looking for a wifey, right? Happy Mr. Kelvin Leo. Leave my Mr. Kelvin alone. Yeah, we're still looking for a good movement. It's not particular about the nationality, right? Let me not put my foot in my mouth, but a woman who is going to take care of her man and ready to have a family. And the family, just leave him the heck alone. Leave him alone. Shoot you, Sean. And plus, he's handsome. It's like, that's my younger brother. So, y'all bring your resumes. But in all seriousness, maybe they're mad with me. Don't mind them, Miss Tina. There's nothing they can do. God has already completed that. Just give us almost a week. Come on now. And the email they sent you, wasn't that even after that? So, but anyway, listen, as my dad would say, okay, we're local, in the sense that you know what your goal is. You know that person has what you need. So you're going to be cool with them, get what you need, and then you move on. And so let's, you just let them send it and everyone be, because they can't deny anything now. And then you move on from there. But We thank God for his mercies. We're trusting and believing that the second half of 2024 is going to be the best second half of the year in all of our years, God willing. And it would only get better from there. Things may not always go the way we have planned. It's just what it is. There are highs, there are lows, but in all of that, the one constant is that God remains faithful. The one constant is that he never changes. The one constant is there is no one who has the authority, no man or woman that has been made or born is able to change our story. It's going to be the way he has written it. It may not make sense to us. When we go through it, it may not make sense, but there is no fire that is going to come our way that we would not have another person by our side, which is God Almighty. There is no fire you can go through that he would not be there to see you through. There's just nothing the devil's going to throw your way that he will not speak and defend you on. So let USCIs bring their whatever it is they want to throw your way. Trust in God. People, see us immigrants and say they're scammers, or especially if you're Nigerian or African or Caribbean, you're scammers. Or it's not that. We come here because we want a better life. We come here because we want our children to have something better than we did. And so who's anyone to judge us? As long as we know that we are right with God, that's what matters. And continue to believe, and just believe and declare and speak it into your life. Speak it and declare it until you see it. Because if God has spoken it, it shall surely come to pass. He hasn't given us a time frame, but there is not an iota of his word that will pass by, that will come without fulfilling the purpose for which he has sent it. So let's keep believing. Let's keep encouraging one another. Let's keep praying for one another, knowing that at the very end, just as we have rejoiced with everybody tonight, as we rejoicing with people in the past, as we're going to rejoice with those to come, that our turn would also come and people will rejoice with us in Jesus' name. Thank you all. I will see you guys on Thursday.